Hello everyone, I'm Chris and welcome back to LEGO New York. Last update I shared with you my new Times Square building, and this time today I'm really happy I can share with you the, I guess, most iconic building of New York, the Empire State Building. So it's something I've been designing for a couple of weeks now, collecting bricks and trying to get it all together, and I just finished it I think 2 days ago. Had some trouble putting it into the city, but I'm over the moon with how this looks. This is, I think, my favorite angle from this side of the city, where, it kind of feels like a row of buildings as far as you can see. Partially because it is in the place where the residential tower previously was. So I moved that, further down Fifth Avenue, and yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out. So let's have a closer look at the building. As you can see, I used a similar style as with the Times Square building. So the lower floor, actually the ground floor, has regular doors, as you can see over there. It has them on both sides. So this is more of an alleyway actually, but it's symmetrical. So it has a similar entrance over here with the two American flags. So that's a regular door, just, the same as, for example, the corner garage modular uses and all the other Lego buildings. But then as soon as you go up, you switch to smaller windows to give the, a sense of height. So it kind of simulates a larger number of floors than you would actually be able to. I think you would go up two of these smaller windows where normally you would have one of those larger window panes. So it really helps, giving you the illusion of height. And that worked out pretty well. It does contrast a little bit with the Wayne Tower, which has these longer windows. Looks nice, but yeah, it's a little bit different. So these two really match together now. And it kind of, has the same look and feel as the Avengers Tower. So let's look at the other side. Let me walk around. I actually made it a modular. So if we look down here, you can see there is two pinholes there to attach it to a Lego modular building. I designed it to be, not modular sized, obviously, but kind of to match the look and feel with modular buildings. And I think if you look at the corner garage next to it, it kind of matches in or fits in, as good as it gets. This side from the city is actually the only side where you can see the entire building without anything in front of it. I'm extremely happy with how, the entire shaping turned out. The elevation differences, getting a little bit less wide with each step. The indent here is something that's very characteristic. And of course, the pinnacle of the tower, which is something that I really love. And especially from a distance, it starts to look more and more like the actual building. So major update for the city in this case. It really makes the whole thing feel more like New York. And it's a very tall building, which I very much needed to, create that New York feel. This alleyway is now a little bit bigger than it was before, but it's still an okay place. It actually looks like something you could have in New York. And the flags, I guess, add some, feel to it as well. So big update on the building, but there's also some smaller stuff in the city. I added a lot of tiles, so most of the sidewalks here are done. So Bleecker Street is completely tiled off, and then most of Fifth Avenue is perfectly done. There's some really small bits and pieces, so over there and over there and here there are some sidewalk pieces that are missing, but mostly Fifth Avenue, the first two blocks are completely tiled off and have a complete pavement. This is the same on the other side. So here, now from this corner all the way up to the second block, it's done. Still need a billion more tiles to actually do the entire round here and around here, but yeah, one thing at a time, I guess, and trying to make that happen. Let me see, there is some other smaller updates as well. I have added quite a few minifigures, so that gives some life to the city. My son actually tries to create these, small little stories. So here is like two criminals or 3 trying to steal money, and the Hulk is trying to stop them. And here we have Captain America handing out autographs and stuff. So it's really fun, you know, every time I come into the room, and there's some, you know, new stories that are in the city, which is exactly what it's meant for, just to play with. Something else I did was these New York traffic lights. They are actually the exact same design as from the Ghostbusters headquarters set. I think it's better to show it from the other side. That particular one is still missing one part over there, but I have 2 more down 5th Avenue, one here and one at the next crossing. And they have this beam, which is, I think, very characteristic for the New York traffic lights. So all in all, I think this is really going somewhere, and there's lots of stuff to come. So in the last video, I actually told you guys that I have ordered the Daily Bugle, which I have, but it's back ordered, so it's going to take another month for it to arrive. My original plan was to put it right here, where the corner garage is. But now that I have the Empire State Building over here and the Avengers Tower over there, I think that's actually a terrible idea. I think if the Daily Bugle would be over here, it would block the view for the Avengers Tower, so you wouldn't be able to see the A anymore, which is, you know, sort of the most characteristic thing. And it would block most of the view of the Empire State Building. So even though I think it would fit in very well with the Times Square building, I think I'm just gonna leave the corner garage over there. You know, just look at the look and feel of these 3 together. I think it fits in very well, which means that I have to figure out a new spot. That is actually going to be something very different, but I'll get to that when it's finished. I still have some room. If I clean this up, then add 2 more straight plates over here, one over there and one over there, which gives me like a huge new bit of real estate. And I think the Daily Bugle would be best if it would be here. So with the sign not visible from here, but I think it would, you know, help widen the city, make it bigger this way. So you would have more buildings and, you know, give the illusion that the avenues are actually going through a lot of buildings. So that one is coming, but that's going to take a month. I also ordered the modular Sanctum Sanctorum. Now, I do have one Sanctum already in the city, which is over here in my imaginary Bleecker Street. It's the playset, which I, you know, expanded with a custom modular design from Rebrickable. I think it looks pretty good. However, the modular one is taller. So I think the modular Sanctum is about as tall as this one. So that will add, I think, like a few inches over here. And that's going to be on this corner, meaning that this can then move somewhere uptown, over there, just, you know, create some filling. Maybe over here, this is just a placeholder building for, you know, the time when something new arrives. So 2 more things are on the way. I'm not sure if the Sanctum by itself is going to be a worthy update, but if the Daily Bugle arrives, it definitely will be. Then my next project of my own would be Oscorp Tower, because one of the things is that we now have the Avengers Tower and Wayne Tower, Times Square, you know, all good guy stuff. So I need some bad guys in the city as well, since it is a, you know, Lego superhero city after all. So I figured Oscorp Tower. I already finished a design. I'm just collecting bricks at the moment. That's going to take a few weeks, I think. Probably going to put that over there. So you have one tall building over there, one Daily Bugle over there. You know, it will just, you know, glue the whole thing together, I think. So, you know, that's all like 1 or 2 months from now should be finished. And yeah, when that's done, I'll give you guys another update. One more thing before we end the video is that the Empire State Building is now the 4th building for which I actually made instructions. So Times Square, Wayne Tower, Empire State Building, and that residential tower all have instructions up on Rebrickable. So if you want to build your own Lego Marvel superhero city, then, you know, check out Rebrickable and you'll find the instructions there. They're not very expensive, so, you know, start building and create something awesome of your own. And that's it for this update. I'm really looking forward to adding more stuff to the city, and I hope to see you all next time.